Hey guys, it's Mike, KF4BOG here. And I've seen at least one YouTube video circulate about is ham radio dying? And, you know, it, it's interesting that that video surfaced, um, that they think ham radio is dying. And what I'm trying to understand is, are they talking about in general? Are they talking about a particular mode? And from what it sounded like on the YouTuber's context of the video and things like that, um, I think he was referring to 2 meter operation. Um, and I'm going to be the first one to admit that I think as far as 2 meters is concerned, yes, I do believe ham radio is dying in a sense of 2 meters. I don't think it's dying in general, but as far as analog repeater use, um, I do agree on that standard that 2 meters, you don't see a lot of 2 meter activity anymore. Um, in that sense of, yeah, there's not a lot of people talking. Sorry for the dog in the background. I apologize. Um, there's not a lot of people talking on 2 meters anymore. I used to, when I first got licensed, I was able to pick up a radio, turn it on, and hear people um, talking almost all the time. I would hear somebody talking on the radio, whether it was in the morning or whether it was in the afternoon or whether it was in the evening. I would always hear somebody on. Um, and now, uh, the only time I ever see, or I shouldn't say see, the only time I ever hear a repeater being used is during nets. Um, that's the only time when I hear a repeater being used is during a net, which is kind of sad because back then when I first got licensed, the hobby was full of people that wanted to talk on 2 meters and wanted to have an interaction on 2 meters. Um, and it's funny, and I see these young hams um, that were like me that got their licenses, all excited about it. And then you wonder, okay, is the excitement going to wear off once they get their license? Is that excitement going to wear off? And that's always been a question that I've had. Or has the new technology come into play? I myself, um, I like new technology. I like um, the new modes that have come out. DMR, YSF to DMR being one of them on the Fusion system. I myself am a fan of Yaesu System Fusion. I love digital modes. Um, you know, um, the the Pi Star that I have. I've got a Pi Star that um, I kind of use that for the D Star stuff, but I gotta tell you, I think D Star, DMR, Yaesu System Fusion, I think all those are gonna gain into popularity again. Um, but yeah, I think ham radio is dying in a sense that there are new modes that have come out with the rise of Yaesu Fusion, and I hate to say the fall of DMR. I hate to say the fall of DMR because, and the reason why I hate to say the fall of DMR is because there are still people that use DMR for talking to other people, and I think that that's what is the driving force to the digital age there. Um, I am looking at the chat there, so if you have a comment or whatever, leave it in the chat there. I would like to know what you're thinking right now, um, because I can't remember if it was which YouTuber it was, but I was watching the YouTuber's video and I kind of got to the assumption of like, okay, I have mixed questions about this, and I want to just basically say that, ham radio is not dead. I don't think it's dying. I think that new modes of communication have accelerated it a little bit. Um, and there's these new types of communication that have come into play. Uh, Most recently, I've been hearing a lot about the mesh nodes that have been surfacing all over the place. I've been hearing about the mesh node thing. Um, the other thing that I've always heard about is Arden, the Arden network. I've heard of Arden network being pushed a lot. Um, but yeah, I do agree. I think ham radio, in a sense of like the regular analog repeaters, I do think analog repeaters have kind of taken a dive. I don't think they're being used as much anymore. Um, I do say that our local club repeater for the DX club that we have here, that repeater is constantly being used to push out DX alerts or whatever. You might hear a guy um, pushing out a DX alert, or my dad, for example, when he's on the radio and he wants to push out a DX alert for somebody that might be listening on the club's repeater that want to be able to work that band. And my dad's a big proponent of making sure that people know what's going on, so that other club members that are on those bands can work the guy. Um, but yeah, I don't think, you know, do I see an end to ham radio? No. I don't see an end to it. I really don't. I don't see the end of ham radio as far as like being able to try new things. I don't really see it. There's a lot of things that I do see with it, but I don't see an end to it. I only see an increase in the hobby as time goes on, technology advances, and we get more and more people involved into these new digital modes and things. But that's my take on it. I just wanted to let people know that, yes, I believe that analog is pretty much dying in a sense because nobody uses it anymore. But you would see people using their club repeaters. That's for sure. I could definitely say that our club repeaters are being used. So, definitely in that realm and in that respect, yes, I do see that being the case. That it's analog versus digital versus this versus that. I kind of see that in case um, where ham radio has definitely taken a major leap in the digital realm. But as far as it dying is concerned, no, I don't think it's dying. I think that the digital modes are going to uh, keep it alive as far as I'm concerned. Um, but anyway, I just wanted to kind of clear the air for a bunch of people because you probably have seen that video and wondered, okay, is the hobby dying? And I don't think it's dying. I think that the way that the video was approached to me was kind of a little odd. Um, and the fact that I believe that ham radio is not dying is the fact that people are trying out new things in the hobby. So just wanted to throw that out there. Um, and let everybody know that I am a big supporter of, um, ham radio as far as the digital modes are concerned, and using analog for um, emergency purposes over digital. So I'm definitely a big proponent of that, and all these new modes that are coming out for emergency purposes. But anyway, hope everybody has a good rest of their afternoon, evening, and